as the next Chief Minister of Delhi at the BJP legislative meeting yesterday. Rekha Gupta, who's a first-time MLA from Shalimar Bagh, will be the fourth woman Chief Minister of Delhi. Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta met Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena on Wednesday evening and formally staked claim to form the next government in the national capital. She was accompanied by BJP observers Ravi Shankar Prasad and O.P. Dhankar, along with Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva and several party MPs, including Sushma Swaraj, Praveen Khandelwal, Kamaljeet Sehrawat, BJP National VP Bijay Panda was also present during the meeting at Raj Niwas yesterday. Now, Rekha Gupta, a seasoned politician and former Delhi University Students' Union President, was elected as the leader of the House in Delhi Assembly during the BJP legislature party meeting. With this, she is set to become Delhi's fourth woman Chief Minister after Sushma Swaraj, Sheila Dikshit and Atishi. She will also be the only Chief Minister currently serving in a BJP-ruled state. Her swearing-in ceremony will take place at Ramlila Maidan today afternoon in presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, senior BJP leaders and several other dignitaries. Gupta will be the fourth BJP Chief Minister in Delhi's entire history, as I mentioned, following Madan Lal Khurana, Sahib Singh Verma and Sushma Swaraj. The BJP's victory in the 70-member Delhi Assembly elections was a decisive one and securing 48 seats, bringing an end to Aam Aadmi Party's 10-year rule in the national capital. With Rekha Gupta at the helm, the party aims to usher in a new era of governance in the national capital. Well, that is the hope as far as national capital is concerned. On your screens right now, pictures coming in from Ramlila Maidan. There is a celebration in the air and we've been speaking to all people, all stakeholders concerned. We'll get you all those voices. But let me quickly cut across first to Brijesh Pandey here. Brijesh, if Ram was in Vanvas for 14 years, it looks like BJP was in Vanvas for 27 years. What a comeback.
But absolutely, and I think, one of the most niggling factor, if I may say so, from post 2013 onwards, when the India Against Corruption was there, the BJP benefited greatly from it. The other person who benefited greatly from it was Arvind Kejriwal. And the niggling factor was, Shweta, that the Prime Minister's popularity went from one level to another level, him winning almost all the North Indian states with absolute thumping majority, not once but twice, and even when going on to win thrice. But Delhi was one thorn which they were not able to pluck it out, and that is the reason why Delhi became so important for them. And after 26 years, I think it is a very big political movement for the Bharatiya Janata Party that they have been able to make a comeback, and most importantly, their biggest challenger, I would say, in the last 10 years, Arvind Kejriwal, they have been able to dent his image as an anti-corruption crusader. I think this is a bigger achievement of the BJP. If I'm talking strictly from the political party perspective, it's a bigger achievement of the BJP than coming back to power.
Absolutely, a bigger achievement, at least as far as BJP is concerned. There were all the reasons to celebrate today. Let me quickly cut across to Sanjay Rana, who's a political analyst, also joining us on the show. The big dark horse, Sanjay, in the last 24 hours has emerged by the name of Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta. Were you expecting it? Because Brijesh was, and he says everybody else was too.
Good morning, Shweta. Good morning to Mr. Brijesh. Obviously, I was expecting Rekha Gupta would be the Chief Minister of Delhi, looking at the various parameters, because obviously they are coming back after 27 years and they have been looking at the women voter, and since 2014, women are inclined towards BJP and they have been trusting Mr. Modi. And if you look at Mr. Modi way of working and his governance, obviously he always portrayed himself as a woman friendly or worker or a leader of women, and they all, whether it's Delhi or whether it's India, women have been trusted. And if you look at the parameters, all the parameters, vote percentage wise from 14, 19 or 24 or elections, always women inclined towards Modi is there, and he has to demonstrate it. Obviously, if you look in, Brijesh was rightly mentioned, all the BJP ruled state, there's no women chief minister. And when we talk about the Delhi, especially where we, in spite of having a different viewpoint, Shweta, we still remember Sheila Sheila Dikshit, why she was delivered the commitment what she made during that time, and similar kind of things. Obviously, BJP has some challenges. They have to deliver the commitment which they have made, and for demonstrated, they need a seasoned politician who has experience. If you look at the Rekha Gupta experience, she has experience. She started her career with the student politics, then become a councillor, then become a mayor. So she has experience, legacy, and the political arena within Bharatiya Janata Party. And Bharatiya Janata Party is always believing in the people who can deliver it. And looking at whatever the candidate we had in last 7 to 8 days time, she was the best fitted, best suited Chief Minister face for Delhi for sure, because number one, she represents 50% of population, at least in Delhi is concerned. Second, she is absolutely very friendly. It means she's interact with the people. She understands the problems. She is mature enough to handle it. She has experience. She know how to do the governance. So all the parameters are in favor of. Of Rekha Gupta. That I think BJP made a right strategy, and the right they have put forward all the things rightly, and she's the right choice for chief ministership for the Delhi for sure.
All right choice for the chief ministership. First among equal as far as Delhi is concerned. Let me quickly get in Yash, who's joining us from the BJP outside of BJP's office right now, where all the political action is going to unfold. We are given to understand all the MLAs will be first coming into BJP office. They'll be herded into a bus and then be brought to Ramlila Maidan. What are you picking up, Yash?
Well, absolutely, Shweta. The plan is that only that the BJP MLAs, except for the 7, including the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers, will not be arriving here, but they will be directly reaching the Ramlila Maidan. I'll directly go to the visuals over here. Shweta, let me show you that how Delhi BJP is once again decked up. In fact, last night only we saw how big of a celebrations which were panning out here in the national capital at the BJP's Delhi office, and now once again this entire place is buzzing. In fact, you can see MLAs have started to arrive. In fact, we have spoken to certain MLAs also. We'll bring you those conversations to a big day for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and all the BJP leaders say only one thing, that choosing a female chief minister is one thing which will boost two things. First, the morale of the cadre, and second, it will also help them to deliver the promises they have made. In fact, the campaigning what we saw in the national capital by the Bharatiya Janata Party was on a larger sense women centric. So that is why they say that women's perspective will be heard properly, and then they'll start working quickly on the promises they have made during the poll campaigning.
All right, hopefully women will be heard and swiftly at this time around. That's the promise BJP is making by the way of a newly designated woman chief minister for the national capital. My colleague Nivriti spoke to her and tried understanding what her vision will be. Let's quickly cut across to Rekha Gupta speaking to Nivriti Mohan.
Woman Chief Minister of Delhi and has been elected and selected as the Chief Minister. Ma'am, बहुत बड़ी बात है दिल्ली के लिए भी, बीजेपी के लिए भी, पूरे देश में कहीं अभी वुमेन चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं है।
मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी की शीर्ष नेतृत्व की और हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। दिल्ली जो देश की राजधानी है, एक इतना महत्वपूर्ण राज्य है, उसके प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुझे उसमें मुख्यमंत्री की जिम्मेवारी जो सौंपी है, दिल की गहराई से बहुत आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ, और ये देश की सभी बहनों के लिए बहुत बहुत सम्मान की बात है।
मैम, क्या क्या आपके मुद्दे रहेंगे, किन चीज़ों पे सबसे पहले काम होगा? महिलाओं ने बहुत ज़्यादा वोट किया है, तो वो भी एक फैक्टर रहा।
जो कमिटमेंट्स हमने दिल्ली से की है, उन कमिटमेंट्स को पूरा करना ही मेरा एकमात्र मिशन है। जो विकसित दिल्ली का सपना आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देखा है, उसे पूरा किया जाएगा। टीम मोदी ये 48 विधायक दिल्ली को विकसित दिल्ली बनाने के लिए अपना हर क्षण लगाएंगे।
महिलाओं को तो बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशंस होंगी मैम आपसे।
100%, और उनकी सारी एक्सपेक्टेशन पे मैं खरी उतरूँ, मेरी यही कोशिश है।
दिल्ली में इतनी सारी चीफ मिनिस्टर्स रही हैं मैम, पहले भी काफ़ी रहे हैं और बड़े दिग्गज रहे, शीला दीक्षित जी जैसे दिग्गज रहे, तो आपके सामने एक गोल भी है और एक मिशन भी है और एक सबको पीछे रखने का।
नहीं 100% बहुत हमारी सुषमा जी हमारी आइडल रही है और पार्टी का बड़ा नेतृत्व ने मुझ पे विश्वास किया, मैं उन्हें पूरा करूँ।
Right, those are live visuals there on your screens right now. A victory lap for Rekha Gupta nonetheless. Her car, a cavalcade of sorts right now, being accompanied by all the security, newly deployed security that's been given to her as the Chief Minister designate. She is now heading to BJP office and then perhaps to the Ramlila Maidan, where she will be taking oath as the fourth female Chief Minister of the national capital. I think it's a good day for women in Delhi. It's a good day for a lot of women who will be celebrating that we've got one more Chief Minister, somebody to look up to. But I think one more conversation that we need to have right now, Brijesh, and that is, who are the people who are going to be a part of that cabinet?
Well, I think, the cabinet is also on the expected lines. What we have gathered is that Parvesh Verma is going to be one of the minister, Kapil Mishra is going to be one of the minister, Manjinder Singh Sirsa is going to be another minister. What we also know is that Madan Lal Bisht, the face of Uttarakhand as far as a Pahari voter is concerned, as far as BJP in Delhi is concerned, he is going to be the deputy chief minister.
Okay.
So, earlier there were talks about how Parvesh Verma could be the deputy chief minister. What we have gathered is that Mr. Bisht is going to be the deputy chief minister, Rekha Gupta, the chief minister, and also Vijender Gupta, he's a very stalwart, very tall leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. He can end up being the speaker of the Delhi Assembly. So this is the new information which is coming in, that these two are going to be part of the cabinet, Gupta being the speaker and Mr. Bisht being the deputy chief minister. Most of the names which are there, Kapil Mishra, Ashish Sood, these are
unexpected lines.
Unexpected lines. These are old war horse of the BJP. Kapil Mishra, he was in Aam Aadmi Party MLA, quit the party in 2020, lost the election from the BJP, became the face of hardline Hindutva in Delhi, and now he's being rewarded with a plum portfolio. So everything is on the expected line. And the BJP was also want to make sure that there's a mixture of the kind of a divide which Delhi represents. Their two leaders are Purvanchali ministers,
and that's an interesting one.
So two
because you have Bihar legislative assembly elections coming in.
So two are from Purvanchal, one is a Punjabi, one is the Sikh Manjinder Singh Sirsa, with an eye at Punjab, because after AAP's demolition here in Delhi, I think the next unfinished agenda of the BJP is right there in Punjab. So they are also eyeing Punjab that way, and Vaishya community, the chief minister and the speaker from that. So I think they have taken all the entire caste calculation pretty solid, and it will be very interesting to see the kind of portfolio these gentlemen get.
Bipin Sharma, senior journalist, also with us on the show right now. Bipin, the caste factor has been catered to. The the permutation, the combination seems very appropriate for what's to come ahead.
Absolutely, because you see, if you need to have a winning combination and you have to have a winning team, then in such a scenario you need to balance the caste equation, and BJP is very astute in that. So before I express my views here, I would say that it is on the eve, because this is the we are on the threshold of celebrating Women's Day, which we do every year on 8th March. So this is a sort of honor, a big honor for the women. And, and now with Rekha Gupta getting selected as the first CM in the present day era in, any of the BJP-ruled states. So I think that also is history in making. Secondly, for the first time, you'll have a BJP government in Delhi NCR. And that is what Prime Minister Modi was also stating. So now, of course, it is also on the expected lines, as the earlier speaker was mentioning, that Ashish Sood and then Parvesh Verma, then you'll have Kapil Mishra, a hardliner Hindutva. So then I think it's very interesting to see how actually, the official announcement is made. And then, of course, the Sikh face, Manjinder Singh Sirsa, who has played a very pivotal role in the Delhi BJP presently. So now it has to be, perform or perish. They have to hit the ground running from day one. So a lot of responsibilities, because with this very decisive mandate comes the responsibility, and so they'll have to really deliver. They have a task up their sleeves. And as of now, the mood is quite upbeat, because you see, this mandate which has come after 27 years. So it was a very long wait for BJP. So now they understand that they'll have to really take this very seriously, and
Right.
the promises, especially which they made during the election rallies and in their election manifesto. Now, all
I
eyes
believe
would be on them.
now is the time to deliver on some of those promises, Bipin. Now is the time, because they have what they wanted, the double engine ki sarkar in the national capital. Nothing should really stop them from performing, from delivering on some of those poll promises. In fact, let's first cut across to what Ramlila Maidan is looking like this afternoon. In view of the oath-taking ceremony, a majority of leaders are beelining. They are going to be there, including Prime Minister Modi, senior BJP functionaries. Let's take a look at what is really happening in Ramlila Maidan as far as security is concerned.
Well, we have very elaborate security arrangements today in the national capital. You can see the NSG National Security Guard taking charge of the streets of the national capital today, specifically when we talk about the Asif Ali Khan Road. And this particular road is just right adjacent to the Ramlila Maidan, where the oath-taking ceremony is going to take place. This is the ground we're talking about. This is Ramlila Maidan, which has witnessed a lot of political changes here in the national capital, starting from the Anna Hazare movement to Arvind Kejriwal's return to the Delhi as the chief minister, and now Rekha Gupta will also be administered oath here at this very ground at around 11:30.
All right, that is as far as Ramlila Maidan is concerned. It's decked up. It's prepared to host a flurry of leaders this afternoon. Let's quickly get across to Deepak Badana, who's at Ramlila Maidan right now. What are you looking around you, Deepak? What's happening there?
Shweta, celebrations here have begun. If you see here, there are these Nagadas here. There is a Maratha band. There is a band from all the way from Uttarakhand. So virtually every single constituency, every single population living in Delhi is being represented. Celebrations are underway. This promises to be one of the most historic and iconic events that have ever happened in Delhi. And you'll also see on that venue, along with media, there is also an NSC car on that. So this is even as crowds are converging here, the MLAs are making a beeline. Almost 200 BJP MPs and MLAs are supposed to be in attendance, along with almost the entire brass of the BJP and some 30,000 citizens. This promises to be the spectacle that BJP wants the people of Delhi to remember.
The spectacle that people will remember for a very long time. But, you know, what's also important, and let's spend a minute or so really understanding, Brijesh, what is going to be as far as the newly elected cabinet is concerned. You brought to fore some very interesting figures and facts that Vijayendra Gupta is likely to be the Delhi Assembly Speaker. Mohan Singh Bisht is going to be a very important figure in Uttarakhand politics, is going to be the Deputy Chief Minister. Was this expected?
Yes, because, you know, they have also taken the population, the percentage of population and the kind of role they play as far as deciding the electoral fate of Delhi is concerned. You know, Purvanchalis, now they constitute more than 26%, and Pahadi voters are also quite substantial, and Mohan Singh Bisht has been an old war horse.
Yes.
And, you know, there's no way in the new composition, especially in a cabinet government which you're forming after 26-27 years, you can let go of him. And that is the reason why I think, you know, his seniority and the importance of Pahadi voter, all of that has been acknowledged in him being the Deputy Chief Minister. I think, you know, majority of the people, you know, other than the platitudes which are being given, wanted Parvesh Verma to be the Chief Minister.
What happens to that? Because Pravesh Verma, his daughters, I remember speaking to the media, first saying, we believe our father could be the Chief Minister, then saying, no, the BJP chief will decide on who's going to be the Chief Minister. But there was an expectation.
There was an expectation, and rightly so. See, Shweta, the fact of the matter is that, you know, we can justify and act in 500 different ways, but then there is also a reality, and the reality of the matter is of this particular election, you know, it was Parvesh Verma who was the giant killer, you know, who was the biggest, who staged the biggest political upheaval, coup as far as Delhi election is concerned. He defeated Arvind Kejriwal by more than 4,000 votes, and he was, if you remember, you know, picked on by Atishi, saying that he was distributing money. He was the one who started this thing, saying that the slogan that Arvind Kejriwal bhagao, desh bachao, you know, remove Arvind Kejriwal, please save the nation, and all kind of thing. So he was one of the most prominent prominent faces as far as this election is concerned. And post him being, distributing money and all, which he said that, this was part of the work which was being done by the NGO. He became one of the key face as far as this fight against Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party is concerned.
He's likely to be awarded
he will be in cabinet.
portfolio.
He will be in cabinet. But if you look at his
cabinet.
legacy, he's been a two-time MLA, two-time MP, and he's a son of Sahib Singh Verma, one of the tallest Jat leader and a very popular Delhi chief minister. So he has all the boxes ticked. But unfortunately,
such as fate in politics,
he couldn't make it. And but it'll be very interesting to see. I think if I would have to hazard a guess, I would say that the BJP didn't wanted any kind of factionalism right at the word go. Rekha Gupta doesn't belong to any faction. She's not that big of a political person. I mean, doesn't carry that much of a political weight in herself.
Yes.
That that she will upset the existing equations in the BJP, and that is the reason I think she became the Delhi chief minister.
Okay, Ajit K. Jha, senior journalist, also joining us on the show. Ajit, Rekha Gupta not being a politically hefty leader, or Rekha Gupta perhaps being the right leader to represent the right kind of Delhi politics, what do you think really was decisive factor behind her choice?
Number one, the compulsion was to have a woman chief minister, simply because BJP is in power in more than a dozen states, right? With allies and all, about 15, 16 states. It doesn't have a woman chief minister, number one. And India has had 18 chief ministers, women chief ministers, and very tall ones. Mamata Banerjee, Jayalalitha, Mayawati, etc., etc. Even for BJP, you've had a woman chief minister in Rajasthan, one in Madhya Pradesh, one in Delhi in the past. So, and all the time people would compare everything, Arvind Kejriwal, with all the time with Sheila Dikshit. Even Atishi came for a short while. So there was a compulsion of a woman chief minister. So I think, number one, BJP has done a great job by bringing her, Rekha Gupta. Number two, remember, Delhi is a typical middle class city. And BJP has won with basically two votes. Number one, the middle class vote. And number two, the women vote. At one time in 2020 and 2015, the Aam Aadmi Party used to have a massive advantage of women voters. In fact, the gap was almost 25% in the last election. In the last election, 2020, BJP had 15% less vote when it came to sort of generic vote, but women vote 25% less. In this election, it turned completely 180 degrees. So they had to bring, the mandate was for a woman chief minister. And as I said, Rekha Gupta, typical great sort of fresh face, number one. As Brijesh pointed out, she doesn't belong to any faction. Number two, DUSU president, very important. Remember who was the previous DUSU president, very prominent in BJP, Arun Jaitley. So you need a DUSU president to represent Delhi as chief minister. Number three, she has been three-time councillor. She has won consecutively. And number four, I think she appeals to the typical both housewife at the same time, the career woman. She has that. She's not she's not loud. She doesn't make unnecessary statements. She's reserved. I think she's the ideal woman chief minister. And with experience, I think she will be compared to the great woman chief ministers in Delhi and in the rest of the country. So I think BJP has done a great job. One more point I wanted to make. What are the primary challenges of Delhi? Health, education, and clean water of the Yamuna. All three, a woman chief minister can deliver, I would say, 100 times better than a male chief minister. Male chief ministers generally end up, on sort of visible development, for example, roads and infrastructure. But a woman chief minister, because women understand health issues better, they understand education issues better, that leads to empowerment of housewives. That leads to empowerment of women in general.
I quite like your show of solidarity towards women. I quite like the fact that you're a very woman-friendly journalist, Ajit. But I think I also want to talk a little bit about
the mandate.
Right. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the promises. Since you are on the promises that BJP has made, and they're coming back after 26 long years, which means they will have to start at the get-go, Brijesh. They don't have time. They want to prove themselves, and they want to continue being and sustaining in Delhi, which means they'll have to start from the very day that the government is elected. And what are the major promises here?
I think one of the biggest challenge, and one thing which they will get cracking right from the word go, as was hinted by Prime Minister himself in the victory speech, is why was CAG report not tabled? See, they have started dismantling, and to a deadly effect, by destroying the anti-corruption crusade personality or the sheen of Arvind Kejriwal with Liquorgate scam. And they kept on hammering home the point, the footage of video footages of Sheesh Mahal, as it was dubbed, of the kind of luxury which was there in the CM's residence. Now it is.
What happens to the Sheesh Mahal now?
I think they are going to convert into a kind of a museum where they will try to drive home the point that, look, this is what Aam Aadmi Party promised, and this is what they were actually doing. Because remember, it is very, very critical for them to dismantle the AAP's legacy completely, because whenever it is a BJP versus Congress fight, the BJP has romped home without any effort. Arvind Kejriwal was, whether the BJP accepts it or not, was a very worthy and very challenging adversary, political adversary of the BJP. Despite the immense popularity of the Prime Minister and the kind of phenomenal political success he has taken the BJP and the heights he has taken BJP to, they were not able to defeat the Aam Aadmi Party for 10 consecutive years. And that is the reason why this time the biggest challenge, and they will start cracking, is to dismantle the anti-corruption or the Aam Aadmi image of Aam Aadmi Party.
Okay, and it's a huge task.
It's a huge task.
It's going to be a huge task, but as far as sticking to today's oath-taking ceremony of Chief Minister Designate Rekha Gupta, my colleague Nivruti Mohan spoke to her husband to really understand what the mood is in the family. Listen in.
We have Manish Gupta with us, who is Rekha Gupta's husband. Let us talk to him. Sir, ये परिवार के लिए तो बहुत खुशी की बात है, और सबसे पहले चलिए परिवार से शुरू करते हैं. कैसा माहौल है परिवार में?
परिवार में बहुत खुशहाली का माहौल है. सब लोग हद से भी ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हैं, और ये क्योंकि ऐसा कभी देखा नहीं था, ऐसा माहौल इतना ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड वाला, इतना ज़्यादा क्राउडी भी, और लोग आ रहे हैं उत्साह के साथ में. तो सभी लोगों की एकदम से लाइफ एकदम से टर्निंग पॉइंट, जैसे कि कल सुबह और आज सुबह, तो एकदम जमीन आसमान का फ़र्क है.
बहुत सिक्योरिटी खड़ी हो गई है,
सिक्योरिटी भी है, हर प्रकार से चेंज हो गया है लाइफस्टाइल.
और फैमिली आपके तो पूरी बिल्डिंग में 4 भाई लोग रहते हैं, सबसे बात हुई होगी, क्या क्या कह रहे हैं सब लोग?
नहीं, सब लोग बहुत गर्व महसूस कर रहे हैं, सब बहुत खुश महसूस हो रहे हैं, गर्व महसूस कर रहे हैं कि कोई भाभी बन गई, बिटिया बन गई, बहू बन गई हमारी, ऐसे करके सभी लोगों के.
अभी रेखा जी से बात कर रहे थे हम, तो कह रहे थे कि मैंने तो सोचा ही नहीं था कि कभी चीफ मिनिस्टर की पदवी तक पहुंच पाएंगे, ये दिमाग में ही नहीं था. तो आपके दिमाग में था कभी?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं था. बस पॉलिटिक्स में यही होता है कि कुछ करते रहेंगे तो कुछ आगे जाएंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं कि चीफ मिनिस्टर ही टारगेट हो. हम किसी भी दायित्व पे हों, हमें कार्य करना है, अच्छा कार्य करना है. तो निगम पार्षद भी रही, और इन्होंने दायित्व बहुत सारे निभाए हैं. ये जिला अध्यक्ष भी रही हैं, ऐसे ये प्रदेश में महामंत्री भी रही हैं, ये राष्ट्रीय उपाध्यक्ष भी रही हैं. तो इन्होंने उत्तर प्रदेश की महिला मोर्चा की प्रभारी भी रही हैं. ये जब चुनाव था तो हरियाणा में सह प्रभारी भी थी. तो हर दायित्व को सीरियसली लेती हैं और हर दायित्व को निभाती हैं. तो जब ये बाहर थी, दिल्ली से बाहर जाना पड़ता था, तभी भी पूर्ण समय अपना इन्होंने, तमिलनाडु वानथी जी का इलेक्शन था वहाँ पे, तभी भी ये वहाँ गई, 1 महीना वहीं रुकी. तो अपना टाइम मैनेजमेंट उस हिसाब से कर लेती हैं.
जब ये चर्चाएं चल रही थी, जीत गई थी रेखा जी, और उसके बाद ये चर्चाएं चल रही थी कि कौन चीफ मिनिस्टर बनेगा, बहुत सारे नाम आ रहे थे. फिर हुआ कि भाई नहीं, विमेन चीफ मिनिस्टर बन सकता है. तो कहीं कहीं थोड़ी सी झलक या थोड़ा सा हिंट मिल रहा था?
नहीं, हाँ, हिंट था ना. हम तो सबको मेंटली प्रिपेयर किया था, हम सब ने, कि इतना नाम हो गया है, वो कम नहीं है. हमें विधायक की पोस्ट मिल गई, उसके बाद में कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई दायित्व मिलना चाहिए, तो ताकि काम कुछ एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी कर सकें, कुछ ज़्यादा काम कर सकें. लेकिन मतलब हम ऐसा नहीं था कि चीफ मिनिस्टर बनेंगे तो ही कुछ, मतलब चीफ मिनिस्टर नहीं बनते तो मेंटली हम सबको प्रिपेयर किया था हमने कि भाई ये तो नाम चलता है, आगे पता नहीं क्या डिसाइड हो.
महिला सशक्तिकरण की तरफ बहुत कदम उठाए मोदी जी ने भी, और काफ़ी काम हो रहा है, तो ये भी एक तरीके से महिला सशक्तिकरण की तरफ भी एक कदम है, और महिला के आने से बाकी महिलाओं का भी
जितनी पॉलिसीज है वो पूरे भारत में लागू है, दिल्ली में लागू नहीं है। दिल्ली में ज़्यादातर पॉलिसीज लागू नहीं है, तो अब हम वो सब दिल्ली में भी कर पाएंगे। तो ये हमारे लिए एडवांटेज है हमारी सरकार बनने का, कि जितनी भी मोदी जी की पॉलिसीज हैं वो हम तुरंत से तुरंत प्रभाव से उसको दिल्ली में लागू करें। आयुष्मान योजना, ऐसे ही महिलाओं की योजना है, किसी भी तरह की योजना है।
कैसा महसूस होता है आपको जब लोग अब आपको जानेंगे कि आप एक वुमेन चीफ मिनिस्टर जो दिल्ली में बनी है, उनके हस्बैंड है, तो ज़रूर एक प्राइड वाली फीलिंग होगी?
हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स जो है ये तो मोदी जी का भी धन्यवाद है, पूरी पार्टी का धन्यवाद है, और जितनी बार धन्यवाद करें उतनी बार कम है ये।
You have it, a humble man today. If there is there's often first lady. I'm not sure what is a male equivalent of that, but he is the husband of Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta. In fact, one of the important person in the cabinet is going to be Atishi Sood. Let's quickly listen in to what he had to say ahead of that oath-taking ceremony.
विकसित दिल्ली जो विकसित भारत की राजधानी हो, जो सच में विकसित भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व करे, उसको बनाने के संकल्प की पूर्ति का काम आज से प्रारंभ होगा। हम सब प्रधानमंत्री जी के विकसित भारत की विकसित राजधानी बनाने के सपने को, उनकी गारंटियों को पूरा करने के लिए रेखा जी के नेतृत्व में जी तोड़ मेहनत करेंगे।
चौथी महिला है जो दिल्ली में मुख्यमंत्री है, आपको लगता है दिल्ली संभाल पाएंगे अच्छे से वो?
आप रेखा गुप्ता जी के साथ महिला के नाते उनको मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में देखकर ज्यादती कर रही हैं। रेखा गुप्ता जी दिल्ली की खांटी नेता हैं। वे दिल्ली में विभिन्न पदों पर, दिल्ली की इन्हीं सड़कों पर, इन्हीं रामलीला मैदान के आंदोलनों से होकर वहां पहुंची है। उसको महिला और पुरुष के खांचे में
And the Kamal, of course, is blooming now in the national capital. That, of course, is Atishi Sood heading to Ramlila Maidan. In fact, visuals on your screens just a couple of minutes ago is that of a bus which has now been filled by all the elected MLAs from the national capital. They've been herded into a bus. They're going to Ramlila Maidan, where my colleague Deepak Badhana is standing by. Deepak, if I can hear you this time around, what is the mood like? How many people have arrived?
Well, I couldn't give you the exact number, but there has been a beeline of people here since 8 in the morning. And as you can hear from the din right here, we have a number of bands here. I've counted at least 6 different troops, all from varying parts of India. It seems that almost every constituency of people living in the national capital region has been represented amongst the revelers and the people who are celebrating. Now, the MLAs and MPs, almost 200 of whom are supposed to arrive here, are on their way, while some dignitaries have already entered the venue. The Prime Minister will also be coming here soon. In the meantime, there is a massive influx of people towards this, and security, as you would imagine, is on high alert. NSG has been patrolling this area for some time now, and
yes,
so, I would like to tell our viewers also, Shweta, that one has to understand the importance. After 26 years, BJP, 26 long years, where the BJP has been a big player in the scheme of things as far as Delhi is concerned, they have come to power and they want to make it one of the grandest possible spectacle, a political spectacle as you can have it. So Prime Minister, Home Minister, Defence Minister, the entire cabinet will be there. The Chief Ministers, and wherever there are Deputy Chief Ministers of all the BJP-ruled states, of all the NDA-ruled states, they will be there. Apart from that, business dignitaries, tall, big business leaders, they have been invited. Film personalities have been invited, and more on Arvind Kejriwal model, the gig workers are invited.
Okay.
The auto walas have been invited. People who have been, till now have been the backbone of Arvind Kejriwal's politics. People from Jhuggi,
the middle class, the Jhuggi
Jhopli, more than middle class. People from Jhuggi Jhoplis have been extended invite. So it is going to be, a very unique representation of, from one end of spectrum of society to another spectrum. Right from Prime Minister to a person living in Jhuggi Jhopli, from a top business industrialist to a top industrialist to a guy who is driving an auto on the streets of Delhi. So it's going to be an extremely engaging, presence, a very power-packed presence as far as today's swearing in is concerned.
And if this is about messaging, I think they're going all guns blazing.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
let's quickly get in Bipin Sharma into this conversation. Bipin, to have the coterie of all cabinet ministers assembling, all the chief ministers from all NDA as well as BJP-ruled states coming to the national capital is a show of strength here for the BJP, that we have come back and we are going to ensure that there is absolutely no strain remaining of Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital. We'll dismantle them, and we are here as a show of support.
Absolutely, they have all the reasons to do so, and you see, because they have worked on a war footing note with a missionary zeal, and now, of course, this is time for celebration, this is time for euphoria, and the mood is upbeat. Plus, now the important thing is that once the official announcement is made on the new cabinet, and of course, we are only speculating who's going to be the next deputy CM, the speaker. So I think very interesting moments, and then matter of few hours, then officially the announcement will be made and everything will be quite evident. But then the important thing, in the lighter vein, I'll say, since you were mentioning about the equivalent for, the better halves. So here, we can aptly say that the husband of Rekha Gupta can be termed as the proud husband, who will take pride in seeing his wife being in the very prominent role. So I think that is also quite evident. And now, all eyes on the how the actual work starts. And now, because a lot of responsibilities, a lot of promises which have been made, and there is no room for complacency, because Modi is known to be a very tough taskmaster. And now, of course, with Rekha Gupta being at the helm of the affairs, we can expect her to go all guns blazing. And no second thought that this election has been a referendum not only on the Sheesh Mahal, not only on the liquor policy, but also on Ramesh Biduri, because the choice of Rekha Gupta, I'm sure that lot must have played in the minds of the BJP top brass. And they actually wanted to send a very strong message, especially to the female voters of Delhi who voted in...
I mean, and that goes without saying, Bipin, that goes without saying. But before I go to my colleague Yash, who's at the BJP office, let me cut to Brijesh. Brijesh, something very interesting was mentioned, and that is the kind of political campaign that we saw in the run-up to Delhi elections. In your living memory, as somebody who observes political parties so very fondly, tell me, how many times have we seen the Chief Minister going all out in a small union territory, a significant place, but Delhi, national capital, where we didn't see Rahul Gandhi conducting any rally for that matter, any political rally, but Prime Minister was on ground multiple times.
Well, I would say that, that this is not the first time BJP has done it. I still remember that, the last parliament session in 2020, we saw a couple of, heavyweight ministers filling out a form, and we asked them what it is. So they said that, they have been told by the BJP to make sure that every single one of them, all the member of parliaments, all the MLAs and all the ministers, they have to do at least 5 to 7 rallies in Delhi, depending on which constituency they come from. That was the mandate. So BJP has been fighting this election like any election, and they have given it their best in the last 2 elections as well. That is why I keep on saying that this makes this election victory all the more special.
Absolutely.
That for the first time they have been able to defeat the Aam Aadmi Party.
Live shots on our screens right now. There you have it, the Chief Minister designate, along with all the other important people who are going to be sworn in. Her family members, as I can see, coming in from the BJP office, I believe, where my colleague Yash is also joining us live. Yash. Okay, she's at a Hanuman temple. So, there she is going inside the temple to take blessings ahead of her swearing in as a Chief Minister of the national capital. Rekha Gupta, the Chief Minister designate, there on your screens, followed by her family members, group of journalists who are likely to follow her at least till the end of the day today. Let's cut across to Yash, who's joining us from outside BJP office, where a bus full of MLAs, I believe, is going to depart to Ramlila Maidan. Yash, what's happening around you?
Well, Shweta, a quick update. The bus has already left. In fact, next in 10 to 15 minutes, the bus will be reaching the Ramlila Maidan where this oath-taking ceremony is happening. And in fact, all the MLAs, most of the MLAs, barring the Chief Minister and the other some certain senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party from the Delhi unit who've been elected as the MLAs, had not come here, but rest others, around 35 to 40 MLAs went from this very place, which is the Delhi BJP office. In fact, in some minutes, around 15 to 20 minutes, they will be reaching there. In fact, we spoke to number of leaders over here, and one commonality in their statements to the media is that one thing which they will be doing at the first, once the assembly session begins and once they take charge of the government, they'll start to deliver on the promises they made during the election campaigning. In fact, 100-day action plan has been created. This is what Satish Upadhyay told News 9 regarding the planning of the Delhi BJP, regarding the planning of the Delhi government. In fact, we spoke to numerous leaders, and all they have to say is that under the leadership of Rekha Gupta, women's issue will be taken at the center stage, and apart from that, issues like cleaning Yamuna, corruption, all these issues will be taken care of.
Right, a 100-day action plan that the Delhi government, the newly elected government, which will be taking oath very, very shortly from now, will come up with as far as what is to be delivered in the coming days ahead. And in fact, the latest that is coming in as to where Chief Minister designate is heading, we are given to understand she reached Marghat Wale Baba temple. So she is of course there going into temple right at the start of her swearing in before she takes charge of the national capital as the fourth woman Chief Minister. Live shots there on your screens of Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta coming out from that temple. So a significant day for her, of course, and it's the right place to begin with an auspicious day like this where Rekha Gupta is going to be sworn in. She has big shoes to fill. Let's not forget that. That of Sushma Swaraj in the BJP.
I think, you know, if you're talking purely in the terms of BJP, then yes, I would say Sushma Swaraj, but I think she has bigger shoes to fill as far as Sheila Dikshit is concerned.
Absolutely.
You know, as I was reminded by, you know, a BJP wala about the kind of political change that has happened. You know, after Manoj Tiwari, when he defeated Sheila Dikshit, you know, they were having a conversation and she said, "Oh, acha, you are the one who defeated me." So Manoj Tiwari said, "No, ma'am, I am not. I have the Congress. Yeah, I have defeated Congress. You are like my mother. I can never defeat you." And you know, such has been the politics of Sheila Dikshit. You know, if politics apart, you know, ideologies apart, likes and dislikes apart, she has been perhaps one of the best Chief Minister Delhi has seen. You know, when we were, you know, young and came to Delhi in the year of 1997-98, I mean, the aims, the entire Delhi was transformed before our own eyes. And there's one person who gets all the credit, that is Sheila Dikshit. So I think, you know, if you look at developmental model and all, I think, you know, she has the shoes of Sheila Dikshit to fill, you know, because this is, I'm being politically agnostic. If she really wants to make a mark on, you know, how the national capital
can be headed by a woman.
Can be headed by a woman. You know, the second biggest challenge is, like, you know, the Prime Minister made Mujhe Maa Ganga ne bulaya hai. The exact same thing is being replicated in Delhi, where, you know, he's saying Jai Yamuna Maiya, and then, you know, when he started his victory speech, the Prime Minister. So cleaning Yamuna is now going to be the biggest task of the BJP, because, you know, now it's not a double engine ki sarkar. I guess, you know, the number games have already shifted in MCD, so it's going to be triple engine ki sarkar anytime soon. And now you will have no excuse whatsoever if Yamuna is not clean, at least visibly clean, in the next couple of years. So these are the big challenges which are there, right staring at the face of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
All right, and I want to talk about that as far as Yamuna is concerned, because that was a political hot potato of sorts in the leg up to the elections in the national capital, where the BJP made a resounding victory. But let's cut across to Sanjay Goyal, who spoke to my colleague right ahead of that swearing-in ceremony.
When the Delhi's Chief Minister will be taking oath, and in fact the MLAs at the Delhi BJP office have started to arrive. In fact, they'll be leaving from this place to the Ramlila Maidan. I have with me Sanjay Goyal, who is the MLA from Shahadra Assembly seat. Sanjay ji, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए. बड़ा दिन है आज. महिला मुख्यमंत्री, भाजपा जो है महिला मुख्यमंत्री दे रहा है, कैसा लग रहा है?
बहुत अच्छा है. हम रेखा जी के साथ में मिलकर सभी विधायक अपना कार्य करेंगे, और जो माननीय मोदी जी का विजन है दिल्ली विकसित दिल्ली का, उसको हम सब मिलकर पूरा करेंगे और एक दायित्व के रूप में, कार्यकर्ता के रूप में कार्य करेंगे.
अब असेंबली जाएंगे, क्या आपके लिए क्या सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज क्या है?
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो शारदा विधानसभा में जो पानी की समस्या बहुत ज़्यादा है, सीवेज की सिस्टम चरमराई हुई है, सड़कें टूटी पड़ी हैं और इन सब व्यवस्थाओं को प्राथमिकता के रूप में देना है, क्योंकि आज सड़कें अच्छी होंगी तो एक प्रॉपर तरीके से डस्ट भी कम होगी और फिर दूसरा एक पोल्यूशन भी कम होगा और प्लस पानी यदि अच्छा होगा तो पेट की बीमारियां कम होंगी और इसलिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। और पानी की व्यवस्था भी पिछली सरकारों ने नहीं की। पानी जहां रिक्वायरमेंट, मान लीजिए शारदा विधानसभा की बात करें, क्योंकि मैं अधिकारियों के साथ पीछे बैठा था तो उन्होंने कहा 22 गैलन मिलियन वाटर की आवश्यकता है शारदा विधानसभा को, लेकिन मात्र 12 गैलन मिलियन पानी हम सप्लाई कर पा रहे हैं। तो पानी की बहुत बड़ी एक समस्या शारदा विधानसभा में है, तो हम उसको भी पूरा करेंगे मिलकर अपने माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के उसमें लाकर, संज्ञान में लाकर अच्छे से पानी व्यवस्था।
मेरा आखिरी सवाल, बड़े वादे किए गए, चाहे वो करप्शन को लेके हो, चाहे वो यमुना की सफाई को लेके हो, आपने पानी के मुद्दे की भी बात करी, क्या डेडलाइन सेट करती है दिल्ली की सरकार या आप एक एमएलए के तौर पे कि कितने समय में लोगों को फर्क दिखना चालू हो जाएगा?
मैं समझता हूँ कोई एक दिन में तो संभव नहीं है, लेकिन आई थिंक विद इन 6 months to 1 year आपको नजर आने लगेगा कि हम काम कर रहे हैं और भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो विकास कर सकती है और विकास कर रही है अन्य राज्यों में जिस तरह से कर रही है।
जनता को आप कह रहे हैं अगले 6 महीने से साल भर में फर्क दिखने लगेगा? 100% दिखेगा। Well, so the MLAs are very confident that in next 6 months to 1 year, the change will be visible. And one thing with the entire BJP MLAs have maintained is that Rekha Gupta as Chief Minister is a choice which has been made by everyone, and the BJP is going to be undeterred when it comes to working for the people in the national capital. This is Yash Goel with video journalist Manish for News 9. बहुत बड़ा दिन है, दिल्ली में फाइनली भाजपा 27 साल बाद सरकार बनाने जा रही है। कितना बड़ा दिन है आज?
बहुत बड़ा दिन है, बहुत खुशी का दिन है। बहुत सालों से हम इंतजार कर रहे थे इस दिन का, क्योंकि सब जानते हैं कि भाजपा के हाथों ही एक अच्छी गुड गवर्नेंस की सरकार मिल सकती है, तो उसके लिए बहुत उत्साहित हैं हम सब।
महिला मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली को मिली हैं और इस बार ऐसी मुख्यमंत्री मिली हैं जो कि इतने समय बाद 27 साल बाद एक तो आप पार में आ रहे हो और महिला मुख्यमंत्री के साथ कितना बड़ा क्षण है?
जी, बहुत बड़ा है। हम महिला कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए तो एक बहुत बड़ा सम्मान का दिन है और ये केवल भारतीय जनता पार्टी करती है, पार्टी के भीतर और पार्टी के उच्च पदों पर। आज आप देख रहे हैं देश की राष्ट्रपति भी एक महिला है, तो बहुत बड़ा खुशी और सम्मान की बात है।
कितनी जल्दी अब जनता अपने जो आप वायदे करे गए थे भारतीय जनता पार्टी द्वारा, कितनी जल्दी उनको देख पाएगी पूरा होते हुए?
बहुत जल्द ही देख पाएंगे, बहुत जल्दी होगा।
Well, you just heard Shikha Rai, MLA, Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, amongst the 5 women MLAs who've been elected this time around. This is Yash Goel with video journalist Manish for News 9.
And Shikhara is suggesting that all the poll promises of the Bharatiya Janata Party vis-a-vis women will be fulfilled very soon. Some very, very important promises that were made, including that of 2,500 rupees per annum for certain sections of women, and which is going to take a toll as far as coffers of Delhi is concerned. You know, you keep abusing the Aam Aadmi Party for giving away money in form of doles, and now you've modeled the same form of governance.
Well, I think, whether it is a freebie or whether it is, an aid to the underprivileged section of the society, depends on which side of the fence you are. So if you are, and these are the visuals of, the CM designate Rekha Gupta.
Hanuman Temple, there she's visiting the Hanuman Temple, Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta. She has some very, very...
and Bajrang Bali has such an important role to play as far as the politics of Delhi is concerned.
She's some heavy duty and heavy role ahead for her in the next... the term that she is going to be in as far as the Delhi Chief Minister is concerned. Some big shoes to fill and some lasting responsibilities that she will have to fulfill as a woman Chief Minister in the national capital. But, staying on welfare politics or freebies, on which side of the fence you are, she's on the other side of the fence. But so perhaps welfare is what Delhi needs.
I think what happened in Maharashtra is that when, you announced Latki Behna, you reaped the political whirlwind out of that. And now, the structures are being paid, the entire scheme is being audited, and, now new rules are being put in place as to who will get it and not. I think very soon we'll see a similar thing happening in the state of Delhi, because they know that, there's one thing to make a promise and win election. It's another thing to deliver something which is financially ruinous for the exchequer of the state and the country alike.
Absolutely, and that is what could or may not happen. We'll have to see. Some of these are poor promises. I mean, look at Karnataka for that matter. Yeah. Sanjay Rana, look at Karnataka for that matter. You make a lot of promises. You say we are going to make electricity free. You say we are going to give you free metro rides. But at the end of it, you realize you can't afford it because you just don't have enough revenues. For the BJP, it's going to be a tough task, and it's cut out for them as far as the coffers of Delhi government is concerned. They are now suggesting that their debt is going to surpass that of many other states around the country, and therefore to be able to deliver on some of those promises for women, for Yamuna, is going to be tough, Sanjay.
I don't think it's going to be tough. If you look at the promises, government has to make the promises and fulfill the promises. But how they have structured the promise, that is very important. The promise made by Congress in Karnataka was absolutely not economically right. They should make the promises for the weaker section, those who cannot afford free buses and cannot afford the free electricity. Electricity charges I'm talking about. When we talk about 2,500 rupees in Delhi, obviously they will structure the format in such a way that people, those who require 2,500 rupees, women are required 25 rupees, they should get it. So that should be the strategy in the planning for any government to execute the plan and the promises which they made for the poor.
But how will you decide who requires it? And if my math is to be relied on, then it's going to be equivalent to the education budget of the Delhi. And for how fair is it to put money in the hands of people without generating enough jobs, without generating enough hardcore physical infrastructure for Delhi? Because, you know, let's admit it, Sanjay Rana, that people in the national capital are a bit disenchanted with what Aam Aadmi Party has done in the past couple of years, and that is absolutely no development work. How is BJP going to do it any different?
Shweta, if you look at the Aam Aadmi Party, how they have done it. Suppose if you look at the freebies I'm talking about, they have increased from approx 100%. So if you are not having a budget, you're not having a plan, how you need to create a revenue for the state and just making promises, then this kind of things will happen. But if you have a plan and strategy in place by which you can generate a revenue, how are you going to generate revenue? Generating a revenue is not like I think and generate it. We need to create atmosphere where people can come and do the investment. Till the time investment is not there, industry is not coming up, the people will not come, and people will not come, they will not earn, they will not spend. Till the time the expenditure is not there, government will not earn anything. Here, obviously the BJP has a challenges, no doubt. As I mentioned that everyone's talking about Rekha Gupta has a challenge. No, Rekha Gupta is not having any challenge. Challenge is for Mr. Modi, because people of Delhi has voted for BJP on the face of Mr. Modi. And whatever the commitment BJP made, they have to deliver, and they will ask the question to Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr.
Are
Modi.
you telling me she's a puppet chief minister? Is that what you're implying? I'm reading that.
No, Shweta, I'm not saying she's puppet chief minister, but when you have a structured organization like the corporate house where you're working, everyone has a defined role to deliver it. And if the person has a defined role to deliver, then it's come with a commitment. And commitment, you need to meet it. Therefore, a CEO of the company is Mr. Modi, and CEO is driving and giving some commitment, some kind of task to chief minister or whosoever's down to line.
I'm not sure, Sanjay Rana, if it's a right comparison, especially for a quasi-federal country like India. I don't think you are correct as far as social sciences is concerned. I'll come back to you, but Ajit K. Jha, I think some very interesting points that Sanjay Rana brought to fore, and he said that as far as Aam Aadmi Party's politics is concerned, their poll promises is concerned, it costed a lot to the Delhi's coffers, Delhi's exchequer. But BJP says we're going to continue with them. So we will not do away with anything Aam Aadmi Party had to offer by the way of freebies. In fact, we'll add more to it. How is that likely to pan out as far as economics of running Delhi government?
A huge challenge, not only for Delhi itself, not only for the new chief minister, Rekha Gupta. She's just stepping in, and think of the mountain of problems that she faces, as well as for the BJP, for Mr. Modi, for the rest of the party, the RSS. So why did this happen? One, the template which was set by Aam Aadmi Party when it first came to power in 2013, later on in 2015, the template was very different from the rest of the Indian states. Why? 25% of the budget was allotted to education. 25% of the budget was allotted to health. So this changed the entire public expenditure pattern in the entire country after that. and especially in cities, urban areas. Think of it. India is urbanizing very fast. Almost there are, census reports which is about to be released soon. About 50% of India has become urban. So your entire priority is very, very different. You have to do development, as you rightly pointed out. All the time the comparison is with Sheila Dikshit, how she transformed the infrastructure of Delhi. And on top of that, these public welfare programs. I hate calling them freebies because, in India, we don't have a system of public welfare that Europe has, or even for that matter, US has. So if you're a democracy, public welfare is your duty. Why do people elect you? Obviously, they want public welfare. So you have to take this fine line between development, between public welfare, third, and most important at this moment, environment, like water. Yamuna water. Remember Mr. Modi, when he was giving his speech, he pointed out that the Ganga cleaning started with Rajiv Gandhi and still we are at it. So the Yamuna cleaning, everyone would expect, and that is going to cost huge amount of money. So I think that
Yamuna
very,
cleaning.
very
I think let's talk a minute on Yamuna cleaning, Brijesh, because I think that is one of the promises that Aam Aadmi Party made relentlessly and did not deliver on. Towards the end of the leg up to the elections, we even heard Kejriwal saying, we did not do it, we could not do it because Haryana is polluting, because they are polluting, that are polluting, and that became quite a political slugfest of sorts. But they were unable to clean Yamuna, and that BJP has gone hammer and tongs on.
Well, I think, it is criminal the way we treat our rivers, be it Yamuna or Ganga or any many other rivers. And I was very happy, personally that, the Yamuna became an important electoral point or political point as far as, Aam Aadmi Party and BJP is concerned. The fact of the matter is, yes, what Arvind Kejriwal promised that, he will clean Yamuna to a level where people can take bath in it without getting infected and also drink water from Yamuna, which we saw, Chief Minister from Haryana doing it when it was claimed that, he's poisoning Yamuna and all kind of irresponsible statements were made. I think, cleaning Yamuna or these kind of things have never been at the top of any political party's priority. Right. That is the reason why it became an important electoral point in this particular election, and that is why I firmly believe that the reason why Prime Minister started his speech with Jai Yamuna Maiya after winning, and he laid down the entire, the charter of what is going to be the next 100-day agenda of the government, corruption, why CAG report has not been tabled, so on and so forth. We saw machines right there at Yamuna and attempt to start or at least showcase that the government means business. And even though new government has not been formed in, the new chief minister has not been sworn in, we saw machines already there. So, for all the visual impact and the effect, we will see, an attempt by the Delhi government, the newly elected Delhi government, to clean Yamuna. And if they are not able to do so, 5 years down the line, if they are not able to do so, then again, you will see Yamuna became one of the key friction points, because, Aam Aadmi Party has been defeated. They have not been decimated. They still have 22 MLAs in the national capital. And it's not like, that their political fortunes are staring at like the Congress political fortune is. It's complete decimation.
No, you can't write off Aam Aadmi Party. Not yet. Rekha Gupta's son, Nikunj Gupta, also spoke about his mother's accomplishments, the fact that she's now the Chief Minister designate of National Capital. Listen in.
मैं यही कहूँगा कि उनके पिछले 30 साल की मेहनत सक्सेसफुल रही। वो काफ़ी टाइम से मेहनत कर रही है और उन्होंने खुद के बलबूते पे ये सारी चीज़ें करी है। वो खुद की दूसरे प्रेसिडेंट से शुरुआत हुई स्टूडेंट बॉडी से, तो पार्टी का मोदी जी को सबको धन्यवाद रहेगा कि उन्होंने उनको ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दे पाई और उनकी हार्ड वर्क, उनकी स्किल्स आज काम में है फाइनली।
All right, that is Nikunj Gupta, Rekha Gupta's son. We also spoke exclusively to Ravindra Negi. My colleague, I believe Yash, has spoken to him. Listen in to what he had to say.
डबल इंजन की सरकार भी हो गई है, जल्दी ट्रिपल इंजन की भी हो जाएगी ऐसा लग रहा है। आगे देखते हुए कितनी जल्दी अब दिल्ली की जनताओं के जो मुद्दे हैं वो सॉल्व होंगे।
मुझे लगता है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो सपना था डबल इंजन की सरकार बनने दिल्ली में, वो डबल इंजन की सरकार बन चुकी है और दिल्ली में चौमुखी विकास होगा। जिस विकास का इंतजार दिल्ली वालों को था, वो 27 साल बाद वो विकास अब दिल्ली में होगा और दिखेगा। जो भाजपा की सरकारें जहां हैं, जहां 2-3 बार सरकारें रिपीट मार रही हैं, वो विकास के बलबूते में मार रही है और मोदी जी की नीतियों के बलबूते में मार रही है।
महिला मुख्यमंत्री बहुत बड़ी चीज है ये, क्योंकि आज के समय में देखा जाए सिर्फ एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री है, और अगर बीजेपी और एनडीए शासित राज्यों में देखा जाए तो पहली महिला मुख्यमंत्री निकल के आती हैं।
तो ये मोदी जी का सपना है। मोदी जी चाहते हैं कि महिलाओं की भागीदारी राजनीति में हो, और उसकी शुरुआत दिल्ली से करी। आपने देखा दिल्ली में उन्हें लाखों करोड़ों महिलाओं का सम्मान बढ़ाया, अगर महिला मुख्यमंत्री बनाया, और उन महिलाओं को इंसाफ भी मिलेगा जिन महिलाओं के घर सुहाग है। केजरीवाल की सरकार ने जब शराब नीति लाए, जो शराब पीकर लोगों के घर उजड़े, लोगों के सुहाग उजड़े, मुझे लग रहा अब असली इंसाफ अगर मिलेगा तो हमारी सरकार में मिलेगा।
देखिए, आखिरी सवाल मेरा बस आपसे, असेंबली का सत्र शुरू होते ही पहला काम क्या करने वाले हैं? मैं सरकार के तौर पे भी बात करूं, और आप पर्सनली क्या चाहेंगे कि पहला एजेंडा क्या हो सरकार का?
मेरा एजेंडा होगा जो मूलभूत चीज, पानी और सीवर, इन 2 मुद्दों से दिल्ली त्रास्त है। इन 2 मुद्दों में हम काम।
सीएजी की रिपोर्ट
वो तो होगा ही, वो तो डेफिनेट है, उसमें तो कोई किंतु परंतु है ही नहीं।
Well, you just heard Ravindra Negi, who is one of prominent faces here in the national capital. In fact, one of those people also was quite viral over the internet when the campaigning was on for the Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi. This is Yash Goel with video journalist Manish for News 9.
All right, that is of course Ravindra Negi is concerned. Some of these people absolutely delighted today will be taking charge, will be a part of the newly formed cabinet of the Delhi government in just a short while from now. Everybody is gearing up to that mega ceremony in Ramlila Maidan where the newly elected Delhi government is going to take oath. They've already started working. They are hoping to deliver on some of those very important poll promises they made, which allowed them, which made them take back power from Aam Aadmi Party after a decade, 10 long years. Satish Upadhyay has also spoken to my colleague. Listen into what he had to say.
डबल इंजन की सरकार फाइनली अब पूरी हुई। दिल्ली की जनता को बहुत उम्मीदें हैं। कब तक आपको लगता है वो रिफ्लेक्ट होना चालू हो जाए, और कब तक दिल्ली को जो आपने वायदे करे उन पे डिलीवरी मिलनी चालू हो जाए?
अब कब तक का सवाल तो ऐसा है, शपथ नहीं हुई है अभी, शपथ लेने दीजिए, उसके बाद 100 डेज का एजेंडा बनेगा, और निश्चित रूप से जो हमारे संकल्प है उन संकल्पों को पूरा करेंगे।
एक चीज में बहुत ज्यादा उत्साह है लोगों में, एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री के लिए, उस पर क्या बोलेंगे?
नहीं, मैंने कहा ना, महिला मुख्यमंत्री हैं, तो हमारा जो ये देश के लिए गौरव की बात है कि रेखा जी के नेतृत्व में निश्चित रूप से दिल्ली को विकसित हम बनाएंगे।
So you just heard Satish Upadhyay, one of the MLAs and in fact senior leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, he'll be leaving from a bus here towards the Ramlila Maidan where oath taking ceremony is taking place. This is Yash Goel with video journalist Manish for News 9.
Okay, so I think the question was, are you going to live in Sheesh Mahal? And there you have it, Rekha Gupta saying, nahi rahungi. Kaha rahengi? Where will she stay?
Well, I think, they are going to kind of borrow leaf from Aam Aadmi Party thing. They would try to show the difference of, Kathni and Karni, as BJP says, that we believe in that, that what we do, what we say, and what Aam Aadmi Party was saying, they didn't do it. And this is the reason why, I said that once the new government would be formed, I think, many people will be given access to Sheesh Mahal to have a deco inside and go and see for themselves and bring out to people for sure, the voters and all, about the kind of discrepancy that was there. But the reason is, Aam Aadmi Party has been constantly saying right from the word go that which chief minister residence doesn't have these facilities. The Prime Minister residence has these facilities. The fact of the matter is, nobody said that I will live in a 2 BHK house. When you keep on making this thing, a statement that I will live only in 2 BHK house, and then you go on to live in this kind of opulent mansion, then questions will be asked. And that is the reason why, the BJP has been saying right from the word go that come what may, we are not going to I have to do anything with the Sheesh Mahal. In fact, what I know for sure is that an investigation has been ordered. Really? That, how was the renovation of the Flagstaff was made without any approval from the competent authority? And if there was an approval, who gave the approval? So, already work has started on who ordered the renovation, how much money was spent, under whose authority was the Flagstaff house was, certain demolition and a structural addition which was made to the house. So, all of that is going to take place, I think, in another week time or so. And the government will be, I think, irrespective of what they say, one of the key area where they'll be very, analyzing it with a microscope is the corruption issue, because they have to.
That is how you're going to hammer, Aam Aadmi Party's legacy. The giant killer Pravesh Verma has also finally spoken up. Let's listen in to what he had to say. He's also heading to Ramlila Maidan.
के प्रति हमारी बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें इतना प्यार दिया, आशीर्वाद दिया। आज 27 सालों के बाद में दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने जा रही है। मैं आज खास तौर पर हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, जिनके विकास के ऊपर में दिल्ली के लोगों ने विश्वास जताया और दिल्ली के लोगों को विश्वास है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम दिल्ली को दुनिया की सबसे सुंदर राजधानी बनाने में सफल होंगे। मैं हमारे पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय जेपी नड्डा जी का, भारत सरकार में गृह मंत्री आदरणीय श्री अमित शाह जी का, उनके नेतृत्व में दिल्ली को अच्छा मार्गदर्शन मिला और हमने सरकार बनाई। मैं दिल्ली के सभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के तमाम कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। उनकी कड़ी मेहनत रंग लाई है और दिल्ली की जनता का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने 48 सीटें जिताकर दिल्ली में हमारी सरकार बनाई है। आज बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण दिन है। हमारा जो वायदा है दिल्ली से विकसित दिल्ली का, हम उसको पूरा करेंगे। हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में हर बात जो हमने बोली है हम उसको पूरा करेंगे, हम उसके लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Point is Smita Mishra, senior journalist. Also with us is different people. Ajit K. Jha, senior journalist. Sanjay Rana, political analyst, continues to be with us. Bipin Sharma, senior journalist, is with us. So we have a slew of experts, journalists, trying to really understand what is happening in the national capital as far as a leaf turning over is concerned. Today, in just a couple of hours from now, that crucial oath-taking ceremony will take place. Visuals, of course, coming in from Ramlila Maidan on your screens right now, where people are making a beeline. Crowds are swelling. There is going to be an outpour of people, the common man, people from Juggi Jhopadis, the auto drivers, the celebrities, journalists. Everybody today will be watching that oath-taking ceremony very, very closely. BJP has come back to power, and come back how? After 26 long years of wait. Smita Mishra, the voices, of course, coming in as far as first 100 days of what the new Delhi government will be. And there is one common theme there. It's going to be the switch, it's going to be water, and that will remain a top priority for the Delhi government.
Yes, and Delhi being mostly an urban state, of course, there are some villages within the territory of Delhi state NCR, but even those villages have an urbanized life, right? So issues of an urban state are not always the kind of issues you see in other states of the country like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, or maybe Rajasthan. Here, issues of civic concern are always the major issue because that is what disturbs people's life. It creates inconveniences and also leads to a lot of problems for the people, and that generates a lot of political reaction. And if you see, a lot was being said and written about the freebies of the Aam Aadmi Party's government. No doubt the people availed of the freebies, women included. But when you give them benefits, cash transfers or other benefits in terms of tickets, etc., but you do not give them the civic amenities required for a, if not comfortable, at least a hygienic life, a bare minimum life, that reaction is bound to show. And that is what reflected here. I think apart from the civic issues, which are many, there was also the issue of the Sheesh Mahal, which went directly into the minds of the people, because the one thing that distinguished the Aam Aadmi Party from other political parties was the fact that they were here to bring in a new brand of politics where the politician will not be working for himself or herself, but only for the people. That boomeranged on the Aam Aadmi Party government. So, taking a lesson from that experience, the Bharatiya Janata Party must be very mindful of the fact that while they have, managed to make it very clear that none of the freebies or schemes, if we may say, it is not going to help, because if you work on providing benefits to the citizens, but it is not supplemented with the facilities of a good urban life which suits the
needs of the people, the civic issues, and it's a big, tall, huge promise that BJP has made, that they have been elected on that promise, and some of the other promises, of course. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan also joining us on the show. Bhanuchandra, another promise that has been made by the BJP is that we are going to unravel every corruption.
तो उससे दिल्ली में विकास का एक नया सूर्योदय होगा। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में वो विकास का एक नया अध्याय दिल्ली की जनता के लिए रेखांकित करेंगे।
सुषमा स्वराज जी है हमारे साथ। बासुरी जी, आज का दिन कितना स्पेशल?
बहुत ही ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है, बहुत स्पेशल है, और मैं दिल्ली की जनता को बहुत बधाई देती हूँ कि आदरणीय बड़ी बहन रेखा गुप्ता जैसी कर्मठ, जुझारू, मेहनती और अनुभवी ऐसी नेता को, ऐसी कार्यकर्ता को मुख्यमंत्री पद का आज शपथ लेने का सौभाग्य मिल रहा है। मैं जानती हूँ कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में वो वुमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट का भी एक नया अध्याय दिल्ली में चरितार्थ करेंगी और विकास का एक नया सूर्योदय लेकर आएंगी।
अच्छा, ये क्यों अहम है कि एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री दिल्ली जैसे शहर में, क्योंकि आप दिल्ली से सांसद भी, अकेली महिला सांसद, तो ये जो एक कनेक्शन है महिलाओं का, ये क्यों ज्यादा अहम हो जाता है दिल्ली जैसे?
सबसे पहले तो मैं अकेली महिला सांसद नहीं हूँ, मेरे साथ नहीं, दिल्ली से ही कमलजीत सहरावत जी भी है, तो ऐसा नहीं है। देखिए, ऐसा है, जैसा आप जानते हैं कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी केवल महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात नहीं करते, वो महिलाओं के नेतृत्व में देश के सशक्तिकरण की बात करते हैं, विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं। जब भी महिला पद ग्रहण करती हैं, इसका अर्थ है कि वो देश की नीति निर्माण में अपना योगदान करती हैं, वो देश की भाग्य विधाता बनती हैं। और नारी शक्ति वंदन अधिनियम आने ही वाला है। 18वीं लोकसभा आखिरी लोकसभा होगी जहां पर
All right, that is Basuri Swaraj, daughter of late Sushma Swaraj, one of the chief ministers who's hugely regarded in the national capital, the veteran politician whose legacy in the BJP will also have to be filled in by Rekha Gupta. Let's quickly cut across to what's really happening in Ramlila Maidan, where just a couple of minutes from now, a coterie of leaders, Prime Minister, Home Minister, will all gather in to participate in the oath-taking ceremony of the newly elected government of the national capital. On your screens right now, visuals, of course, of celebrations, the dhols, the nagaras, and people that have come in from all across the country at this point in time. These are not just BJP functionaries, these are also common people of the national capital who have gathered here to celebrate the return of the BJP after a very long 2.5 decades. And the podium there decked up to welcome Prime Minister. It says Vikasit Bharat, and that is of course on the lines that the BJP has come back.
दिल्ली प्रदेश की जनता का बहुत बहुत आभार प्रकट करता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का अभिनंदन करता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में जिस ढंग से दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कमल प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ खिला है, और सबसे बड़ी बात है हमारी बहन रेखा गुप्ता जी को कमान दी गई है। मुझे रेखा गुप्ता जी का जैसे ही नाम आया पूरे दिल्ली में खुशी की लहर दौड़ गई, और पूरे देश में महिलाओं को मैं कह सकता हूं कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने बड़ा सम्मान देने का काम किया है। जब मोदी जी जैसा कहते हैं वैसा करते हैं। दिल्ली प्रदेश की आम जनता का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। महसूस हो रहा है कि दिल्ली में कलयुग की समाप्त हो गई, सतयुग आ रहा है। बहुत बहुत आभार, अभिनंदन दिल्ली की जनता का।
बीजेपी की सरकार बन रही है, आप पार्टी पे इतने करप्शन की वजह से कैबिनेट बनते ही पहला क्या आप करेंगे?
देखिए, आप वेट करिए, और दिल्ली की जनता का एक एक पाई का हिसाब भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार जारी रेखा जी के नेतृत्व में जो बनने जा रही है वो लेगी भी और देगी भी।
थैंक यू सर।
BJP leader Brijesh Pathak there right ahead of that swearing-in ceremony. He's coming into Ramlila Maidan, and visuals, of course, on your screens. We are tracking that mega oath-taking ceremony of Rekha Gupta as the Chief Minister of the National Capital. We'll continue bringing all those details for you after this very short break.
Your promise is IGI certified. 14-step grading process. IGI Trust certified.
News 9.
News 9.
News 9.
News 9. News 9.
News 9. Now they are relaunching News 9.
News 9 is coming back.
News 9 will be very useful for creating public opinion.
It's going to be only truth.
And I wish you all the best.
Very happy and all the best. बहुत अच्छा लगा मेरे को. उनको मुबारकबादी देता हूँ.
Congratulations to News 9. All the very best.
All the very best, News 9.
I wish the channel all the very best.
Let News 9 be the voice of Karnataka and India.
Hello everyone. We have the biggest announcement of 2025, especially for cricket fans. We're bringing a golden chance to win a free trip to the UK with your favorite legends. Suresh Raina, Shikhar Dhawan, Shahid Afridi, Chris Gale, Brett Lee. These legends won't just meet you, but you'll stay in the same hotel, travel in the same bus, and witness their practice sessions live and be a part of the post-match team celebrations and gala dinner. 12 lucky winners will get the golden chance to travel with their favorite teams and players, with all expenses covered by us. The entry forms will be available starting 15th February. Keep checking updates on our website wclcricket.com and our Instagram. Get ready to turn your dream experience into reality.
Welcome back. You are watching our rolling coverage of the new Delhi oath-taking ceremony of the newly elected appointed government in the national capital. Rekha Gupta, the Chief Minister designate, went on temple hopping. She was now going to be heading into Ramlila Maidan, where she'll be sworn in as the Chief Minister of the national capital. We heard from a slew of leaders who are likely to be a part of that cabinet that will be formed at or in Delhi rather. Live visuals on your screens right now of Rekha Gupta. She is the woman of the hour, a very important figure, has emerged as far as the politics of national capital is concerned, and behind her, of course, is her new security. She is at Ramlila Maidan, where very soon, in a couple of minutes from now, Prime Minister, Home Minister, and a slew of other ministers will join her as she takes oath. And experts here with us on Newsline to decode the national capital politics. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan continues to be with us. Bhanuchandra, I think a slew of promises there that Rekha Gupta will also have to fulfill as she takes oath today. And as Brijesh Pandey was earlier pointing out, that process has already started. The cleaning of the Yamuna River, you already are looking at big machines which have been deployed, which essentially means one thing: BJP is very, very sure it will do what it has to do in order to retain power in the national capital. After all, coming back after 26 years is no small feat.
Absolutely. The elections that just concluded was a referendum on Arvind Kejriwal, his personal attributes, his image, as well as his governance. And we see urban decay in Delhi all over. And that has actually been the main driver, especially for the middle class is concerned. Even the better parts of Delhi, even South Delhi faces issues of bad roads, garbage disposal, so on and so forth. And Yamuna is just a symptom of it. It's very visual, especially during Chhat Puja when our fellow citizens, Bihari immigrants, do Chhat Puja. You see the foam all over. It has become a visual of the urban mismanagement. So glad that the work has started, but there is a gargantuan task before the new government on getting Delhi back on track. The manifesto makes a slew of promises, including increasing the sewage treatment by fivefold from 220 MLD to 1000 MLD. 20,000 crores on roads so that it becomes the top 10 in urban mobility. 3.5 lakh pakka houses, and education campuses, having a East and West Delhi University campus, and 7 medical and paramedical colleges, and so on and so forth. Mahabharata corridor, doubling the number of tourists, $50 billion in FDI. So, I mean, these are all like giant promises. If all of this happens, then we can expect Delhi to be like a much better place than where it is right now. But it is going to be a very tough ask.
Absolutely. And these, of course, are poll promises. But let's get those visuals full frame from Ramlila Maidan right now. I think celebration in full mode. What we're also learning, and interestingly, Delhi Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta has now been given Z category security, and that is on the orders of Ministry of Home Affairs. So what you are looking at there on Ramlila Maidan just a couple of minutes back is the Chief Minister designate with the newly installed security, not just at her house but also with her, which is likely to be with her up until her tenure, and she is beginning that tenure in a very short while from now. And this is, of course, a system in place. It was likely to happen. This has happened a couple of minutes before she actually takes oath.
See, the thing is that, whenever you are a chief minister, when you are about to chief minister designate, I mean, your security is enhanced. That's
as a protocol measure.
As a protocol measure, because you are the most important person as far as the state is concerned. Adequate security has to be provided, and that is the reason why this new security or the security upgradation has been given. It is a technical issue, and it's a normal part of the process. Not much has to be, but yeah, she's there, and I think it'll be very interesting to see how the new government gets in saddles, the way it gets cracking, because I think they're going to be completely different from the way we have seen Arvind Kejriwal perform his task as chief minister for the first for the last 9.5 years.
And I want to take you back to when Arvind Kejriwal was first sworn in as the chief minister. A lot of statements were made. He said, I'm not going to take my official car. I will keep driving my small, I believe it was an Alto, it was a Maruti car, right? He said, I will not take the official car. He said, I'm not going to be living in palaces. I will live in a small 2 BHK apartment. All of that sort of changed in the decade that he was the chief minister, and that exactly was the political narrative of the BJP.
I think the kind of the support he got from the people, and especially when the entire Anna Hazare India Against Corruption movement, it helped BJP also, because it happened in 2013, and we also saw Narendra Modi emerging as the biggest catalyst which changed the political fortune of the national of the Bharatiya Janata Party like never before. They have become one of the most formidable political party and one of the biggest political party in the world. See, the thing is that what happened in the last 3-4 years is that what Arvind Kejriwal, who was considered to be non-corruptible, there you see Sanjay Mayuk, who is the co-media in charge, Harish Khurana, son of Madan Lal Khurana, former chief minister, and Rekha Gupta, CM designate. We are there in Ramlila Maidan. I think they are looking at the last minute preparation which is going on. There we saw there people are clicking selfies. She's meeting BJP leaders who have arrived, BJP Padadhikaris who are there at the ground. This is Ravi Kishan,
right,
Member of Parliament, who is there to greet. And I think, in another 10-15 minutes, the entire stadium is going to be filled. See, Diya Kumari is the Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan. Who is there. She's clicking selfie with Rekha Gupta, who is the woman of the moment, as far as this election is concerned.
And congratulations, of course, in order for her. And she's being met and greeted there by senior BJP functionaries, deputy chief ministers, MPs, MLAs from all across India who have come to the national capital, have been flown in for that crucial oath-taking ceremony, which will happen, we're given to understand, in just about half an hour perhaps from now, when the podium will be set in place. The final preparation is also being looked at by Chief Minister Designate herself. She is on the Ramlila Maidan grounds, surveying perhaps what looks to be the final mode of her oath-taking ceremony, the final leg up to that crucial ceremony, which is likely to take off in half an hour from now. And we are tracking all those updates coming in from the national capital. It's a day of celebration there for the BJP, day of celebration for Rekha Gupta, who will be the 4th woman chief minister for the national capital. Let's also see some of the visuals coming in from Ramlila Maidan, because they essentially tell you what people are feeling in Delhi. Smita, people in Delhi, and as many as I've spoken to, and perhaps you can tell us the people you've spoken to, in the last couple of years were quite clearly unhappy with the Aam Aadmi Party. And if it wasn't anything to do with the kind of politics they practice, it was really to do with what they have done for Delhi. While there's no denial of the fact education system was better, there was a lot of disenchantment with respect to jobs that were created, physical infrastructure that was developed, because let's admit it, many of their leaders were in jail. They were unable to do anything for the benefit of the people.
No, first of all, the leaders were not in jail because they were working for the benefit of the people. They were in jail because cases had been registered for various reasons, and however high you may be, the law is always above you. So we have to wait to see the end of those cases. I don't think any of the cases we have seen the end of it.
Sorry, yes. Just to cut you there shortly, Devendra Fadnavis also of course there right now greeting
Keshav Prasad
Maurya is there, Deputy Chief Minister of UP.
Lalan Singh, Cabinet Minister.
So Cabinet Minister, so a beeline of ministers.
A beeline of ministers and Chief Ministers and Deputy Chief Ministers are there to greet, and I think BJP is going to make it a very powerful political statement. There you see, Parvesh Verma, who was, said to be the topmost choice for many as far as Brijesh Pathak, another Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh.
And Rekha Gupta, of course, welcoming all those who have come in attendance as far as her oath-taking ceremony is concerned. She is welcoming all those leaders who are there to greet her. She is the new face of the BJP, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm not wrong, but a dark horse who has emerged as a new face of the BJP in Delhi. Many people who track politics very, very closely knew that she's going to be elected, but those who did not thought Pravesh Verma had a chance. But obviously, I think political gains come at their own time, so Pravesh Verma's time hasn't come just as yet.
Could be, because I mean, if you look at the, if you say that, the candidate who made all the difference, I think, that ticket, that slot has to be given to Pravesh Verma. He was the giant killer as far as, Delhi is concerned. He defeated Arvind Kejriwal. Now, whether you like Arvind Kejriwal or you don't like Arvind Kejriwal, he was a completely, he was a huge formidable political foe to the BJP. Despite, the BJP putting in all their might, they were not able to dislodge him. And I think, what started as unraveling of Arvind Kejriwal started taking place once, the liquor gate scam came into picture, when all those murky details start leaking out about the kind of money that was made, though it was not been proven in the court. We saw the arrest of Satyen Jain, we saw arrest of Manish Sisodia,
and then eventually
Arvind Kejriwal himself. I think, this created a lot of doubt in the mind of the voters who otherwise were very loyal to him based on, that the statement of the Prime Minister, I think they used the term na khaunga, na khane dunga, say complete anti-corruption crusaders, and all of a sudden, in the 7th or the 8th year of power, the anti-corruption something, the anti of the corruption, anti-corruption started going down. And that is the reason why, those visuals of Satyen Jain getting a massage, foot massage in the Tihar jail also didn't do help the image of...
did not help Aam Aadmi Party any which way, but remember... Those visuals, of course, very, very crucial right now. All the senior leaders, functionaries of the BJP, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Deputy Chief Minister from UP, both of them greeting and being welcomed by Rekha Gupta. They are there to attend her oath-taking ceremony.
So Eknath Shinde is also on his way.
Eknath Shinde speaking to the journalists. We'll try and see what he spoke. Celebrations are in order for the BJP, and Rekha Gupta will have no dearth of visitors, at least for the next couple of days. Today she gets to meet all the senior BJP leaders from all across India who have flown in to attend her oath-taking ceremony. And the visuals on your screens from Ramlila Maidan, where festivities have started, people carrying flags of the BJP. You have the national flag also being carried by a lot of people there. Live visuals on your screens from Ramlila Maidan, where all the senior BJP leaders, functionaries have now arrived. In just a short while from now, the oath-taking ceremony will start. But for now, supporters of the BJP are being greeted by all the selected MLAs of Delhi government, people who are going to take oath in just a short while from now to form Delhi government. About 2,500 security personnel have been deployed.
भारत माता की। ये उत्साह और ये उमंग इस देश के भविष्य को प्रतिबिंबित कर रहा है। इस देश के उन सपनों को साकार
बार बार हम आपसे करेंगे, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री महोदय का जब आगमन होगा उस समय हम सब
All right, where Jai Shri Ram, the naras of Jai Shri Ram and Bharat Mata ki Jai, and that's how all those who have come in attendance to witness that ceremony are being greeted in the audience. Smita Mishra continues to be with us. Smita, a show of strength, a show of celebration there for Aam Aadmi, for the defeaters of Aam Aadmi Party, for the BJP, who have now come back to power after 26 long years of wait. And as we were speaking on everything that unfolded in the last years of Aam Aadmi Party in the national capital, towards the 7th year of their ruling, a corruption case by the way of liquor scam that resulted in all their senior functionaries going to jail. I think it's also important to point out and appreciate, Smita, that some of these are mere allegations. They have not been proven just as yet. The court case is still ongoing, but that was the undoing of Aam Aadmi Party.
Listen, if you look at the end of cases in politics, which relate to politics, there are cases which were filed in 70s and 80s in our country who have not reached their logical conclusion, but they have had their political fallout, and rightly so, because politics is a game of perceptions. The law takes its own time. There are issues of evidence and more evidence and trials. Cases of 90s are still going on at the trial stage. So that is not how politics operates. Nobody will wait for the end result to come. People formulate their views as and when issues come to the fore. And let me tell you, the kind of celebration that you have been showing continuously, perhaps it wouldn't have been so exciting if the difference of seats was, say, 5 or 7 seats or somewhere around 10 seats. It is because the Aam Aadmi Party has been properly defeated. One can argue about vote share, etc. But in the first past the post system, when there is such a gap in the number of seats, it is a well-won victory, I would say. But let me tell you, though the results is old news now. What interests me this morning more than anything else is the turnout of the NDA, the entire NDA leadership. Let me tell you, Delhi, as we all know very well, is not such a full-fledged state. There will be a very small number of ministers. It's just half a dozen. And most issues on which states, flex their muscles, if I may use that idiom, are not with the Delhi government, because the division of powers is such. Yet, BJP has made it a point to invite all their NDA leaders, the chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, and you can see all of them here greeting Rekha Gupta. There is a message in this. There is a statement here. That is, when Narendra Modi came back to power, but with lesser number of seats in Lok Sabha, there was a lot of chatter about people saying that this will be a Baisakhi government. It will have to go as per the whims and fancies of Naidu and Nitish Kumar, etc. But BJP has managed to hold its own at the center. And those shatraps like Mr. Naidu and Nitish Kumar, while they are very invested when it comes to their interests of their states, they have mostly left the center, Narendra Modi, to be precise, to run the central government with his own vision. And it was necessary for the BJP, and perhaps to make a statement, as I said, to show that, look, the NDA is intact. It is one strong body. Unlike the other coalition, the India Alliance, where we know that two important partners of the alliance have fought against each other in Delhi. Thus, bringing Delhi to this result, perhaps. And there, you know that each one of them do not agree with each other, and all of them together do not agree with the Congress. So the BJP has made a big event of the oath-taking ceremony of a small state,
all right,
because it is trying to give a political message that look.
बहुत समय से
all right, well, you know, that is how politics is, and that is how politics has really unfolded in the national capital. But I think the messaging, Smita, from what you're saying, if I get it right, and that is, there has been a show of support from all NDA leaders today, but more so in Delhi, where
if I may interrupt you for 10 seconds, look at this, the screen. Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, Bhajan Lal Sharma, then we saw Praful Patel. So it's as we have been saying, since
Northwest,
morning, Northwest, South. It's a huge show of strength by not only by the BJP but also by the entire NDA alliance. People have come and made sure that they are going to attend this. So all the top leaders, all the chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, powerful cabinet ministers, especially Dharmendra Pradhan was there, others were there. There Atishi is also there. So she has accepted the invitation. It'll be interesting to see whether Arvind Kejriwal accepts the invitation and comes to this swearing in or not. But it's very gracious of Atishi to enter, to come, and it'll be very interesting to see how it pans out. But what is very the way the entire phalanx of the NDA, the chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, we also saw Mohan Yadav, the chief minister, also being there. So top cabinet ministers, chief ministers, deputy chief ministers, industrialists, film stars,
absolutely. I think the
you name it, if you name it, they'll be there.
I think the message is clear. Unlike the opposition by the way of India Alliance, which by the way fights together when it comes to Lok Sabha, then fights with each other when it comes to various state assembly elections, we are united, and that unity perhaps is also the reason why BJP takes on state after state. I think that show of unity, not just the show of unity, but also actual unity at a very core level, that is what keeps BJP's winning streak intact. And we've seen that. In fact, Bhanu Chandar continues to be with us. Bhanu Chandar, I think, a messaging that was coming in early this morning was all the MLAs in Delhi, powerful, not so powerful, unanimously came together and decided if it has to be a female chief minister, or rather if it has to be any chief minister, make it a female chief minister and make it Rekha Gupta. Essentially trying to, put out the message that we are very clear and we are united. No matter how big or small you are in the larger scheme of things, you kill the giant, but we will decide on who will take the leadership mantle, and Rekha Gupta it is.
Oh yeah, so this is the end of the election cycle, Shweta, and the BJP, post the Lok Sabha, BJP has won 3 out of the 4. So technically, like Bihar is like many months away from now. So if you look at the whole election cycle, except for Jharkhand, the BJP has won everything, and this is sort of the cherry on top. Though Delhi is a small state, it holds a huge psychological importance in the minds of people of our country. And obviously, like it is sort of a come together party at the end of a huge series of victories, and that's why you see a show of strength of all the NDA leaders coming in. And it is important that the BJP makes a very bold choice as chief minister, because like what Brijesh was saying, like in spite of all of this, the vote share difference between the Aam Aadmi Party and BJP is just 3%. Okay, so and BJP still doesn't have a very strong leader per se in Delhi. So this should be sort of the beginning of a development of strong leadership in Delhi. I hope their plan would be to do it through proper governance, and starting with the 2,500 rupee scheme for women, where will perhaps address the main vote base, which is the women, which is being quoted by all political parties. And also, going back to the previous point, Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal have been defeated, but they have not disappeared. So they'll still mount a strong opposition, and to face that, you need a very strong political leader. And if you have been the DUSU president and you have gone through the ranks, then you know how politics works, and you know how to counter allegations of the opposition. So I think that's where Rekha Gupta's candidacy becomes very important. So it now
sorry to cut you short there. I can see some sort of silent conversation between VK Saxena, the Lieutenant Governor, And I can also see Rekha Gupta, of course, speaking to the person she's going to be working very, very closely with. This is an important conversation. We don't know what's being discussed, but this will shape the future of Delhi.
This is an important conversation, and you know, many believed that he was the bigger face of opposition to Arvind Kejriwal than the BJP itself. I mean, you know, the kind of running feud Aam Aadmi Party government and LG had, you know, where there were accusations and counter accusations, and for the first time we saw the LG office, you know, rebutting and the kind of political allegations that were leveled. Many said that, you know, they were fighting BJP +1 as far as Delhi election is concerned. But I think, you know, now what will happen is that
no reason for fighting anymore.
No reason for fighting anymore. LG will go back to his role as the benevolent guardian of the half state that Delhi is, and now you have a double engine sarkar, you have a BJP government in state center, of course, there, and I think, you know, go by the arithmetic that is there in the switching sides of few of the parshads, very soon it's going to be a triple engine ki sarkar. So I don't see any reason or much of a role playing scenario for the lieutenant governor anymore.
और वो अंदर आदरणीय अपने प्रधानमंत्री, अपने महबूब नेता श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को देखना।
All right, we believe it's all coming to fruition now as far as the Delhi BJP government is concerned. They will be forming government very, very shortly. They have already staked claim with the Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena, who you saw on your screens just a couple of minutes ago, speaking in a hush-hush manner with the newly Chief Minister designate Rekha Gupta. Their job, of course, will be to work in tandem, in coordination, to ensure the delivery of all the poll promises that BJP has made. Bhanuchandra Nagarajan continues to be with us. Smita Mishra is also with us. We are, of course, minutes before we cut live to Ramlila Maidan, where Prime Minister is due to arrive shortly. All the senior BJP functionaries already on your screens right now met and greeted Rekha Gupta. She is going to be sworn in as the Chief Minister perhaps in an hour or so from now. Smita Mishra, I think, you know, staying on with what Brijesh and I were discussing, and that is, we just saw a conversation there with LG, who played perhaps one of the most formidable opposition to the previous Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi. There could be more coordination going forward, given that double engine ki sarkar is now already in place. It's going to be triple engine with MCD elections around the corner.
Yes, and certainly you cannot analyze or try to observe Delhi politics like other states, because in Delhi's unique situation, the Lieutenant Governor is as much a part of the day-to-day functioning of the government. And we have seen for too much of a long time, I believe as a resident, that the confrontation that was going on between the LG house and the Chief Minister's office, that was in nobody's interest, much less the government of the day. But yet the outgoing government chose to have a relationship of confrontation. Please do not forget that there have been chief ministers before Arvind Kejriwal and Atishi, most recently Sheila Dikshit, and Delhi was never a full-fledged state, and yet a lot of good work was done in Delhi because considering and understanding the unique position of the state, the governments of the day found ways and means to work with the center on the one side and the LG, who is the representative of the center, and find ways and means to do their work. Now, for whatever reasons, it will become a very long conversation if we go into each of the details.
Longer conversation, Smita. We have all the time in the world. I want to cut across to Brijesh. Brijesh, you know, Lieutenant Governor, time and again accused of blocking Delhi government, their policies, deliberately so.
Well, I would say that, you know, whenever we compare Arvind Kejriwal tenure with other chief ministers, we also have to be mindful of the fact that, you know, when Sheila Dikshit was the chief minister, you know, for 15 years, the first 5 years, you know, we saw a very weak government. It was not a full-fledged majority government. So, you know, there was no that kind of confrontation which was there. And from 2004 till 2014, for a major chunk or 9 years of Sheila Dikshit's chief ministership, it was the Congress-led UPA government. So there was no, it was the double engine ki sarkar at that point of time. See, in Arvind Kejriwal's case, we also saw, you know, the administrative officials, you know, IS officers and others.
Going against.
They were were going, they were not following the diktats of the elected representative. We saw the case being sent to Supreme Court, where Constitution bench said that, for transfer posting and all, they agreed that yes, it's a half state, but they said that what is the point of having a government, or holding an election when the babus are not obeying their order? So it was the government of the day which turned that order with a new fiat, which is again being challenged and is pending before the court. So it's not like, it was a one-way fight by Arvind Kejriwal. The Lieutenant Governor also, there was more to it than one-way traffic, as is normally projected out to be.
I think let's also admit that as much as Aam Aadmi Party failed to deliver on its mandate in the last leg of their rule in the BJP in Delhi, let's also admit that it was a difficult task for them to accomplish, given that a lot of things were not working in their favor, including the constant opposition from LG and the curtailing of their power as the elected representatives of the national capital. Be it a half state, they had some mandate, but they were unable to deliver it.
Yeah, see, I mean, the bickerings between the LG's office and the Aam Aadmi Party is very well known, okay, and both sides are there to blame. So we were speaking about the cleaning of Yamuna, right? A few years ago, a big meeting was called by the LG to initiate some activities in this matter, and like the Aam Aadmi Party attended a couple of meetings and then stopped coming, right? So like it is, and Kejriwal also was not very serious about discussing policy matters and governance. He used to call the assembly probably less than 15 days a year, and he used to make these grandstanding statements. There was no serious deliberation of policy. There's a lot of hawabazi on the schools and all that, and the mohalla clinics which are now found to be inadequate. So governance suffered a lot, and politics definitely was part of it. But there was also a lack of focus on governance, which I think Aam Aadmi Party paid the price for in the elections.
A narrative, Brijesh, was throughout that, we've been covering Delhi elections and Delhi politics, was that Delhi government, despite a very popular mandate, had it tough from the get-go. They were facing a formidable government at the centre, the ruling Modi government that despite all its efforts was unable to dislodge Arvind Kejriwal, and therefore the efforts were made towards dislodging them, if not politically, then by the way of...
Thank you. पार्टी पे कई चार्जेस लगे हुए हैं।
Thank you. नहीं, please.
पूरा दामोदर आपके ऊपर ही है।
बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Rekha Gupta there, the
I
Chief
think this
Minister
is one
designate.
scene which you're going to witness for the next couple of days. We'll be chased by reporters.
And every nook and cranny. And perhaps I think she's given enough and more reactions since this morning. She also spoke to TV9. We'll play that up very, very shortly. But, that is the show of power there on your screens. Senior BJP leaders, Eknath Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis on the left. Joined by and flanked by Diya Kumari, of course, on your screens, the Deputy Chief Minister of Rajasthan, all trying to get a picture clicked with the woman of the moment, that is Rekha Gupta. And, look at the swelling of the crowd there, and this is the crowd that has voted for the BJP. Absolutely. A majority of them were really disenchanted with the Delhi politics, and we were talking about that. We were talking about how it was very difficult for Arvind Kejriwal to be dislodged, and despite all the wave of politics being in favor of Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, it was difficult for them in Delhi.
That is the reason why when people ask me, right, when the BJP won this mandate, I have been saying it right from the word go. That it's an extremely important political mandate for the BJP. Consequence-wise, state is nothing. I mean, whether you have Delhi or you are the chief of MCD, the state has absolutely nothing to offer in terms of national this thing and all. But perception-wise, Delhi was the only state, and Arvind Kejriwal was perhaps one of the only political personality which was offering Prime Minister a very stiff resistance. And there's always the tyranny of distance, all the media houses being in Delhi or in the Noida, which is, the NCR region, whatever he said became a lot more amplified than any other chief minister or political adversary of the BJP would. And that made him, a very, very tough adversary to the Bharatiya Janata Party. And that is the reason why, in 2015, 2020, we have seen how every single minister, every single member of parliament, the Purvanchali faction, the other side, they had put in all and they were not able to dislodge it, and Arvind Kejriwal was able to defeat them very thoroughly and very comprehensively. Imagine this, when Prime Minister's magic ensured that in Delhi 2014, 19 and 24 it was 70, 70 and 70.
It continues
so
to be.
it continues to be. But in assembly it was a tough nut to crack, and that is the reason why this victory is all the more important, is all the more precious, I would say, for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Finally,
देखिए गौरवपूर्ण क्षण है हर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता के लिए कि जब आप दूसरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की महिला मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में आज रेखा गुप्ता जी शपथ लेने जाएंगी। निश्चित तौर के ऊपर एक सुखद पल भी हर उन महिलाओं के लिए है जो दिल्ली के अंदर 50% रिप्रेजेंटेशन देती है, उनके लिए भी सुखद पल है कि उनके बीच से एक महिला आज दिल्ली की मुख्यमंत्री बनने जा रही है। और निश्चित तौर के ऊपर जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का संकल्प है और मोदी जी की गारंटी है, उसको अक्षरशः पालन करने का काम आज से ही ओथ लेने के बाद रेखा गुप्ता जी के नेतृत्व के अंदर कैबिनेट करेगी। निश्चित तौर के ऊपर पूर्ण रूप से विश्वास है। ये
आप पार्टी पे जो चार्जेस लगे हैं पहली कैबिनेट के बाद आप लोग क्या देंगे?
देखिए कैबिनेट का डिसीजन क्या होगा क्या नहीं होगा वो तो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी बताएंगी, लेकिन एक बात तय है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार हर वो वादा पूरा करेगी जो उन्होंने प्रॉमिस किया है, जो मोदी जी ने गारंटी दी है, अक्षरशः उसका पालन होगा। अब आम आदमी पार्टी को तो अपनी चिंता करनी चाहिए कि वो क्यों हारे, उनका विपक्ष का नेता कौन होगा, क्या होगा, वो अपनी चिंता करे। रही बात मोदी जी की गारंटी की, वो अक्षरशः पालन होगा ही होगा उसका।
कैबिनेट को भी लेकर
All right, the reactions continue to pour in. Also, we saw just a while ago the hero of Andhra, Pawan Kalyan, who's also here to attend the oath-taking ceremony. Rekha Gupta meeting with almost everybody, who's being greeted by everybody. She's welcoming them to her oath-taking ceremony this afternoon. I believe people in Ramlila Maidan have already gathered in large numbers. They are awaiting Prime Minister's arrival. A coterie of political leaders, cabinet members. Prime Minister, of course, is going to be flanked by Home Minister, is going to be flanked by all sorts of senior leadership.
All the cabinet ministers will be there. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, all the cabinet ministers will be there. All the NDA-ruled states, Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister will be there.
Already started
Pawan
arriving.
Kalyan was there. We saw both Deputy CM Brijesh Pathak and Keshav Prasad Maurya of Uttar Pradesh being there. We saw Eknath Shinde, and I think
Devendra Fadnavis was there.
Devendra Fadnavis was there. I think even Mr. Pawar was also there. I'm not 100% sure. Diya Kumari was there.
Yes.
So the entire gamut of the political leaders, chief ministers, all the stalwart politicians, they all will be descending down. It's one big political message that is going to go across the country from Ramlila ground. BJP has won a historic mandate. There's no confusion about it. BJP has been able to get rid of one of the most persistent embarrassment in their otherwise stellar resume, which was the Aam Aadmi Party, and them not being able to defeat them in the national capital. They have the Naib Singh Saini, Chief Minister of Haryana. He has arrived. So, I think another 5-7 minutes.
And became a reluctant participant to, I believe, elections in Delhi after he drank that Yamuna, Yamuna water.
He has to, he was another prominent face. And, interestingly, the impact of Haryana continues to be on the politics of Delhi.
Absolutely.
Rekha Gupta is also from Haryana. She had spent like 7-8 years, in the class 7th, I think, she shifted to Delhi or something like that. But she's from Haryana. Arvind Kejriwal also had his ancestry in Haryana. Haryana poisoning Yamuna became one of the rallying war cry.
And right now she is getting those blessings from Naib Singh Saini, asking perhaps him to bless her for her tenure ahead.
देखिए, मैं रेखा जी को और दिल्ली के पूरे लोगों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। दिल्ली के लोगों ने जिस प्रकार का मैंडेट मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के अंदर मोदी जी की नीतियों के ऊपर मोहर लगाई है, और जो एक सरकार लंबे समय से लोगों को प्रलोभन दे करके, झूठ बोल करके यहाँ पर विराजमान थी और लोगों की अपेक्षाओं को जगा करके अपनी खुशियों को जो बढ़ाने का काम कर रही थी, उसको बाहर करने का काम यहाँ के लोगों ने किया है। मैं बहुत बधाई देता
सरकार
हूँ।
बनते ही पहले कुछ काम क्या करने वाले आप पार्टी पे कई
करेंगे जरूर।
All right, Naib Singh Saini, as I mentioned earlier, became a reluctant participant, perhaps voluntary participant there to the Delhi Assembly elections, suggesting that Yamuna River, in fact, is not poisoned by him, and those are some allegations that Arvind Kejriwal is making, post which Election Commission called Arvind Kejriwal to verify those facts, to provide substance to why he would say Haryana is
one of the challenge which everyone throws, that go and drink water from there.
And
so
he did.
Went on and did.
And he did drink that water, although he later spit it, but he did drink that water.
Ajit Pawar is also there. So, both the deputy chief ministers are there. Goa CM is also there. So, Eknath Shinde, Ajit Dada Pawar is there. Fadnavis is there. Goa CM is there. Haryana CM is there. Madhya Pradesh CM is there. Rajasthan CM is there.
All the
Andhra
Chandrababu
Chief Minister has
Naidu
also come. So I think both the CM and Deputy CM.
Both Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra have now arrived. Chandrababu Naidu, of course, on your screens as well, walking into Ramlila Maidan. Pawan Kalyan right now on your screens.
Conrad Sangma there. CM of Sikkim.
Chief Minister of Sikkim on the left.
सामने की दीर्घाओं में अपना स्थान ग्रहण कर लें, इस बात के लिए निवेदन है। और पुलिस कर्मियों से इस बात के लिए बार-बार निवेदन है कि अपनी सुरक्षा जांच पूरी करने में एक शीघ्रता करें, और जितना जल्द हो सके बाहर जो लोग हजारों की संख्या में दिल्ली वासी यहां पर एकत्रित हैं और इस कार्यक्रम का, इस अवसर के जिसकी प्रतीक्षा उन्हें लंबे वर्षों से रही है, आज उसका वो साक्षी होने के लिए इस कार्यक्रम स्थल पर आ रहे हैं। बड़े उत्साह से सुबह से ही ढोल नगाड़ों के साथ इस कार्यक्रम के स्थल के
And visuals continue to pour in as far as Ramlila Maidan is concerned, and it's a busy day. Meenakshi Lekhi on your screens right now. It's a busy day for the BJP. It's a busy day for the newly elected MLAs of the BJP in the national capital as they gather at Ramlila Maidan on that very important podium, flanked by almost all BJP functionaries, senior leaders, chief ministers, deputy chief ministers from Goa to Maharashtra to Sikkim to Madhya Pradesh to Haryana, from north to south to east. It's a show of unity for the BJP. There is a whip perhaps of sorts to all the leaders. Be present today. This is a victory that we've been waiting for.
It also sends a very important political messaging, A, of the BJP's political triumph, and B, that there is no problem whatsoever in the NDA government. It sends, it kind of dispels whatever happens. We can see the posterity of how it judges this particular event, but the fact is it sends very powerful political message of BJP supremacy as far as Indian politics is concerned, and the cohesiveness with which the NDA is functioning. It's a very important political message.
Absolutely.
महिला मुख्यमंत्री मिली है।
बिल्कुल पूरे देश के लिए बड़ा दिन है कि महिला मुख्यमंत्री मिली है, और दिल्ली जो कि देश की राजधानी है उसको विकसित करके हमें पूरे देश को और पूरी दुनिया को एक संदेश देना है जो अब पूरा होगा।
आप पार्टी पे इतने चार्जेस लगे हैं, अब बीजेपी की सरकार बन गई है, लगता है कि सुचारू रूप से चलेगी सरकार?
बिल्कुल, बीजेपी की सरकार जहां भी है, जिस भी प्रदेश में रही है, वहां पर हमने काम करके दिखाया है, और दिल्ली बहुत लंबे समय से काम से